All right, here we go. We're going to talk about the 2024 Holding Space Practice Growth Group. You might decide that this is for you, but how do you know? Let's talk about it, and I hope you'll decide that you want to come along. The 2024 Holding Space Practice Growth Group really is a type of head-to-heart group. If you have read before about head-to-heart, this is like you know something in your head, but you haven't really been able to apply it into your life. So we talk about things getting from your head into your heart and into your life. So that's the first and main focus of this group. So I think that there are only three kinds of people that are going to be in this group. The first will be somebody who knows nothing about holding space practice, or they have just a slight introduction. They have never been introduced to the modules, and this is their first time through understanding what it's about. So that's group number one. So the second group, I think, is somebody, and this is probably the majority, that you've started, you have done the first few modules for sure, but then kind of got bogged down and haven't finished all the modules. That could be you, and the majority of people, I think that's who is going to be in this group. The third group of people are people that have really gone all the way through all of the modules. They have a pretty good grasp on the holding space practice and what it means, and they have established some practices in their life, but they are ready for a review and ready to dig a little deeper and integrate a little bit more of these practices. And this is probably a person who's ready to mentor, or maybe even is starting to mentor other people in the holding space practice. So it's really anyone that could be in the 2024 growth group. All right, so what would we do in this growth group? What is the purpose? Let's see, I wrote down a few things. The 2024 growth group is a focus group. It's a little bit different from other groups that we've done. It's a group that is meant to actually be a resource for growing the holding space practice. And the specific, well, I'll get to that. I have a specific task that I'm excited to do with a focus group. It's people who really want to keep focusing on it. It's a group where we learn together, we learn from each other, as well as learning the material. It's kind of fun, I have to tell you, these calls. We'll do at least one group call a month. And then other than that, you will have a mentor or someone that you are mentoring, and there should be another call in that smaller or one-on-one group, and also ongoing texts and emails. That becomes the accountability piece. Here's the thing, holding space practice, I have seen it change people's lives. Like everybody that has done the holding space practice, I have seen, and they have told me about significant changes, like significant. But if you don't do the work, if you don't write out the prompts, if you don't think about it, you don't get very much benefit. So that's why mentors are really important, or somebody that you're working with that can say, okay, let's get together again. Let's make sure that we're continuing the work so that you can get all of the benefits of the holding space practice. The plan is to focus on each module for 1 or 2 months. So in January, we'll do module 1, February, module 2, March, module 3, and then module 4 will be April and May. There's a lot to unpack in module 4. In June and July, we'll work on module 5. June and July tend to be kind of busy with summer and stuff, so we might end up slowing down a little bit. I get it, that we have to leave a little bit of elbow space. So that will be module 5 in June and July. August and September, we'll do module 6. Module 6 is pretty intense. It's good to have 2 months for module 6. And then in October, module 7, and November, module 8. And then in December, we'll just kind of celebrate and review. Hopefully, we have gotten through all the work and we'll be able to look back and see what we've accomplished. Not like it's a check mark, but I know that when you really do this work, you will be able to see a difference. I'm hoping everybody that is listening to this video will feel like this is your time, that you really are going to make some changes, that this is the time you are going to break through whatever has been making you feel stuck, or break through some emotions that kind of are there all the time, either depression, anxiety, anger. These are all symptoms of work that needs to be done. And when you do the work, it's just amazing. It's freeing. The big work that I want to get done this year is to rewrite the book. The book was published, oh my goodness, I can't remember. I think it's 2017, 2016. And it's really time to update it. I will send out the original book, a chapter each month or during our focus months. And my request will be, will you print that and take notes? So we'll go through it, we'll discuss it, but you can give me some updates. You can help me to edit and make this better than the original edition so that more and more people can really benefit from the holding space practice. So if you're in this group, it's really going to be a special group. It's really an insiders group. So what's the cost? I'll be honest. I would love to be able to charge plenty of money to know that I was able to make some money, but that's not my main motivation. If I can just cover my overhead, it makes me so happy. And the overhead isn't crazy. So I'm gonna ask for a $20 registration fee. That will help you to know I'm really doing this, and that will help you to move forward. And then I'm going to leave it up to each person to give a voluntary donation each month. Whatever fits in with your budget. If that's more, great. If it's less, no problem. My real goal is together as this group that we can cover the overhead of holding space practice. It's really not that much. I'm around $200 a month that I need to pay, but I have been paying that for a few years on my own, and I would like to spread that out. But I want to do it in a way that everybody can feel like it's doable for them. I'm not asking for thousands of dollars. Programs like this sometimes will run into a lot of money. I want this to be accessible. I want people to be able to make these changes. So I don't want money or the cost to be an excuse. Like, oh, I can't afford it, it's too much. You need to afford what is best for you, but also try to be generous in your donations so that we as a group can own the holding space practice together. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions about this, obviously you can just email me, you can text me. We're a small group. This is still a very small number of people that know about the holding space practice, and that's okay with me. We just need to make the world a better place together, and I invite you to join me in that adventure in 2024.